Okay, here we go. Straight politicking on all you suckers. Alex Alonso here with Munchie B, the mayor. And Munchie B, you just dropped a new song, man. What was it called?
5 on it.
5 on it using I got 5 on this song. That's
The Loonies.
the Loonies.
Yeah.
From Oakland.
Yeah, from the Bay Area, the Loonies. Me and Perryon J Key. Yeah. Just dropped that a few days ago.
That was a nice little tune.
Oh yeah, good looking.
And that's the first time I've ever heard Perryon J Key on the mic.
Oh yeah, no, he can sing and rap, man. My boy, get down. That's my bro.
No, he did a good job on there. It got me feeling like I need to come out and at least do a song. I need to do at least a song.
Yeah.
I haven't rapped though. I haven't rapped like officially maybe since 1987 or 88. like some real rapping. So it's been a minute.
You gotta knock the dust off the mic and hop in here.
I definitely got to practice for a while, but yeah, it's been a minute. I actually performed at the Veterans. What is it? The Veterans in Culver City. I forget what it's called. The Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Culver City in '86. I performed at Fairfax High School in '86. I think that was. I had a couple of performances, and I used to rap with a dude that ended up taking it serious, and he formed a group called 7A3. His name was Brady B. I had a group with him, and then I just kind of quit. He kept on, and next thing I know, I'm watching MTV with Brady B.
Okay, he did his thing.
Yeah, he was in a group called 7A3. And they had a couple hits in the late 80s, early 90s. And I ain't seen the brother since, but yeah, we had a little thing going in the late 80s. And he was from New York, but he lived in Hollywood. But yeah, man, you guys did your thing on that song, man. Perryon J Key was spitting a few bars with his southern drawl.
Yeah, man. My boy from Louisiana, man. But yeah. Oh, so you was rocking the mic.
Oh yeah. From like 85 to about, I'd say, the end of 87, beginning of 88, I retired. I felt like this wasn't going anywhere.
As soon as you felt like that, your boy took off.
Yeah, it took him maybe another year or so before he really got his thing going. But yeah, there was a time where I was feeling like this ain't going nowhere. I was actually doing stuff with the Real Loose Cannon. The Real Loose Cannon had a studio. I was impressed because we was teenagers. He had his own studio. I was like, man, where'd you get all this stuff from? And he was doing his thing, and we'd be in the studio playing around.
Yeah, no, everybody, everywhere you could click 5 on it. Munchie B and Perryon J Key, we just dropped that a couple days ago. It's some fire, for sure.
Yeah, man. And that other song you dropped with Mozzie, that was a banger too.
Oh, yeah. Me and Mozzie boogie down.
Nah, you be putting out bangers on, and you doing this part-time. You ain't even doing it for real. You just playing with it.
Yeah, I'll be coming with some. They be sleeping on me though, man. If I took it serious, they'd be in trouble.
Well, you should have been taking it serious.
That's what I'm saying, cause I'm closer to 40 than 30, so I just put it out, and who mess with me, they mess with me. You know what I'm saying? Get what I could get up out of it.
Yeah, you think that your handicap maybe limits like people want to work with you and really taking it serious, or you don't think that's ever been an issue? Because really, nobody in the history of hip hop. I can't think of anybody with a serious disability that was doing their thing.
Nah, they be
We ain't got no rapper in a wheelchair.
They be throwing me dollars for the verses.
Yeah,
I'm on songs with Orochi, AG Shike, JD from the Lynch Mob. I got a song with Big Y and Red Rum, rest in peace. They on the same song, Why We Bang. I got songs with you know what I'm saying, as of recently, Mozzie, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I got with me, Perryon, and Lil Boosie.
Little Boosie?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's called Red Lambo. Munchie B, Perryon J Key, Lil Boosie, Red Lambo. It's everywhere you can click. Like, no, I got a cool little, you know what I'm saying?
No, I didn't even know you had something with Lil Boosie.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened to his partner that he used to rap with back?
Webby?
Yeah, Boosie. That's how I know him. Boosie and Webby.
Yeah, Savage Life. I don't know what's up with Webby, man. Webby was hard too.
Did Webby just disappear?
It seemed like he probably somewhere in Baton Rouge.
Oh, okay. All right, man. I was just scrolling through some YouTube titles and I saw one with your name in it, and I didn't really like the title, man. Are you aware of a title that's very recent with your name in it that I would not have liked?
It's a couple of them, but you might be talking about Melvin.
No, I'm not talking about him.
Oh,
I'm talking about somebody that you actually talk to and you cool with.
I talk to and I'm cool with.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a reaction.
Is it a react? I didn't watch it, but the title is
Gangland knee?
Nah. This title said you're the most feared blood.
Oh, okay. My boy Smack.
Oh, Smack. Yeah, your boy Smack. I was about
Back
to call
on
him.
Fig. Yeah,
I was about to call him S-Mac.
Yeah, that's what it is though.
Oh, it's S-Mac?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
S-Mac, but they start just smacking it like smack. You feel me?
So S-Mac, Smack.
I checked that out. It was 3 reactions. It was like 2 videos about some unalivings, and then it was one. They did a new one about me, and like a fake little documentary style with AI, and he reacted to that or whatever.
Are these guys trying to get you in trouble? Is my question.
I know one guy that is, but I don't think the rest is though.
Okay, well, I don't like those titles though.
Yeah, I know one guy in particular is he hell bent on you know what I mean. Yeah, he hell bent on making sure I get locked up or something, but I don't break the law. So.
Oh yeah, you talking about Cashless Jones?
Yeah, Sersky.
Oh yeah, man, he's enemy number 1 to everybody, and he don't seem to care about it.
He talking about Poetik Flakko. He went to LAPD and they filed a revenge porn charges on me. I should be going to jail this week. This what they saying. This what Flakko and Wax saying, I guess, or whatever.
Well, talking about Poetik Flakko, I actually posted that screenshot by that girl Destiny. I put it in my community tab where she's saying this herself, that this situation goes back to 2024. I don't want to talk about it. Leave me alone.
I ain't clearing nothing up. Leave me alone.
So I was doing the math on this, Munchie, and I'm sure you already did it. In 2024, for 90% of that year, she was a minor.
She was 17.
Unless he met her in December, because she turned 18 in November.
But he says he spoke to her through the DM for the first time May 21st. His story, 2025.
Okay.
But you know, I mean, it's his story. Let him tell it. Hey,
so he need to take this up with her, not you.
Yeah. Because evidently, if she talking about I'm not clearing up nothing, somebody reaching out to her trying to make her explain something. Because I hadn't reached out to her, and I'm not.
Okay, well, the girl was born in 2006, so that would have made her a minor in all of 2024. She was born in the end of 2024.
My oldest daughter, is born in 2026 September, and she's 19.
Okay.
Like, come on, bro. That's a kid, bro. So all right. So let's just say if you did meet her May 21st, 2025, she was 6 months off of being 17. She's a baby. Like, you that make you feel better? But I'm standing on it was 2024 you met her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now you scrambling, you nervous, you talking about lawyers and all that. Do your thing, brother.
Well, let's see. I got a son that was born in 2005. It's just crazy he's 20. He just turned 20. And I can't believe I got a 20-year-old, but yeah, that's my baby. He turned 20 just a couple months. Well, at the end of 2025, he turned 20. And he would be 1 year older than this girl Destiny. Almost exactly 1 year older than this girl Destiny.
All right, so if what Flakko is saying is true, he was 27 and she was 18. Now, Flakko, would you want your daughter at 18 dealing with somebody 27? I mean, at 18 you are an adult, but do you want that? Like, but although she wasn't 18,
yeah.
Let's make that clear. If we did see it your way, come on, bro. It's still weird. It's still creepy. You still exchanging money for sexual favors. Like, that's not against the law.
Okay. Not at all. But so you believe what she posted on her Instagram is the correct year?
Yeah, I said it first, and she followed.
Yeah, you're right. You actually said it first. She supported what you said.
Right.
And
I haven't spoke to her.
And we're going to call her a victim. She's the victim here, and she supported what you said.
Right. And I haven't spoke to her, and I don't want to speak to her. I'm not going, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that ain't my type of content.
I mean, I was looking at some footage of her, man, when she was like 17, 16, and I was just saying, that's kind of sad. I know it's part of the streets. I know it's everywhere in L.A., but to see it after you have a daughter that, you know, just went through those ages. I'm like, wow, I could not imagine in a million mother effing years my daughter out there like this.
Right. Yeah, man, but it is a part of the street element, although it ain't right. You feel me? And then, you know, you got people that partake in that type of trade, like this dude, and it's self-admitted that he, you know what I'm saying, that he pay. Look, you probably didn't pay attention to my hoodie, right? Say, pimps don't love you, we do, and they got a number you could call, right? This is the sign off of Fig that they got put up.
Oh, okay.
This sign is up and down Fig. Pimps don't, hey, but
Oh, that's a real thing.
yeah, this is a sign off of Fig, and I just, you know what I'm saying, I threw it on a sweater, you know what I'm saying, and I got this made for Poetik Flakko. Hey, cause look, my thing is, okay, how could a person cover the Hoover indictment, right, about human trafficking, and you helping further it if you paying for SEX? Without no trick, there's no pimp. So you can't cover that. You know what I mean? You can't. Like, I mean, hey.
Well, he's gonna have to come back and just basically say, "I didn't know." He's gonna have to.
It's too late. He's standing on business that.
He's standing on 2025, huh?
Yeah, he's standing on 2025. Although the girl said, "I ain't clearing nothing up, man." From 2024 to 2025, you know what I mean? He's standing on it. So, hey.
Well, this is what I'm gonna give Flakko a little bit of advice. If you want your story to be consistent with the girl story, say, you know what? It was 2024, but December. I met her in December. That's
or the end of November.
Or the end of November. Yeah.
Around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's your only out in this situation, because the victim already said 2024, and she was a victim for she was underage for 90% of 2024.
Man, that dude, bro, he was in and out of California last year. He moved, bro. Bro, I ain't gonna say a year, because he haven't been at no jumper probably a little less than a year. He only came that one day. The girl cried on that Tuesday. He been gone from no jumper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you met her in the year I said, bro, but you know, you'll be all right.
He could have it.
You'll be all right.
Yeah, he could have it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I remember we was talking about guns, and I said, "Dan, I got to do a 10-day wait. You know, that's California's rule."
You ain't patient.
And you were saying, "Oh, that's a good amount of waiting."
Mm-hmm.
And I looked up the waiting period for other states, and I was actually shocked.
There is no waiting period. Right.
Only 13 states have waiting periods. And California obviously is one of them. Some of the waiting periods are, okay, it says here, the waiting period to purchase a gun can be 10 days, and only 13 states have it. And I'll give you a few states here. California, Hawaii, Washington, Colorado, New Mexico, Minnesota, Illinois, Florida, Maryland, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Maine, and Vermont. Those are the only states with waiting periods. That means 37 states don't have a waiting period. You could buy a gun over the counter on 37 states. I
agree with the waiting period. First of all, you got a cool off period.
Yeah,
you might be angry at something. So then on the fourth day, you need to cool down. You ain't feeling the same. You need a cool off period. And then, you know, in California, we got a gang problem. You know what I mean? You know, you might have your baby mama, your girlfriend go grab a shop. You want to go handle that. So, I mean, I don't think the 10 days ain't even that long.
No, it ain't even that long. But when you want to buy something, like, just think of anything you want to buy. I want to buy this mic. Right. Like, you got to wait 10 days. 10 days? I need the mic right now. You know. But yeah, you're right about the cooling off period, because it also says here that the waiting period law requires gun buyers to wait for a specific time period to create a buffer for people that are suicidal, for a cooling off period, as you said. That can be the difference between a life and a death.
Right.
But why do 37 states don't have a waiting period? That's insane. I actually thought every state had a waiting period, but the waiting periods would be different from like 1 day to 3 days to 5 days to 10 days. But no. Only 13 states got waiting periods. I wonder if I can go to one of these other states, buy a gun, and just bring it here. I don't know how that goes, but let's say Arizona and Utah don't have a waiting period. Could I buy a gun there and bring it to California? I don't know. Never looked it up.
Yeah, I don't think nothing wrong with the waiting period, man.
Okay, check this out. Arizona. In 2010, Arizona became one of the first states to repeal its concealed weapons permitting requirement, kickstarting a dangerous national trend and meaning that people can carry hidden, loaded guns in public without a background check or training. So Arizona's got one of the most liberal gun laws. If Arizona had the gun death rate of our national leaders, the 10 states with the strongest gun safety laws, we can save 9,500 lives, according to this research, but I'm not sure. I can't verify this research, but yeah, you can just go buy a gun in Arizona.
Yeah, nah. But what's the M rate out there? The murder rate in Arizona?
Well, they only got Phoenix as a big city. I mean, they got some other towns, but
So is it spiked up there in Phoenix?
I don't really never hear of crazy murder rates in any Arizona cities.
Yeah, because you got a lot of people from California that move to Arizona, Vegas. They're the closer states that like people like migrate to.
Yeah, so that's interesting. No gun waiting period in a majority of our U.S. states.
My boy Double A impatient.
And Texas, you know, Texas is one of those gun states that don't make you wait.
Yeah, that's why Charleston talks so crazy.
Check this out. Despite the fact that 3 of the 5 worst mass shootings since 2015 have taken place in Texas, lawmakers continue to sit on their hands and refuse to enact foundational gun safety laws. Now, of course, I'm reading this from an anti-gun advocacy group. But yeah, I remember the Uvalde shooting that happened in Texas in that elementary school.
Sandy
Hook, no, that was in like Connecticut.
Oh, that wasn't damn. So it was an elementary in Texas though, right?
Yeah, Uvalde.
Okay.
That was the one where the local cops was too scared to go in there. So it took like, I don't know if some cops from a neighboring city or some state troopers, but it took a whole nother department to come in there, and they stormed the building and took care of business. And the local cops, a couple of local cops got arrested.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say they should have been fired them, but they got arrested for that.
Yeah, but I just read recently one of them got acquitted.
Nah, they should be locked up, bro.
He got acquitted for
if your job is to serve and protect,
yeah,
and then all this is going on and you just lay down on the job, yeah, you need to take your ass to jail.
Can you imagine though? Uvalde is a small Texas town where the cops barely see any violence, barely see any crime. They don't really, they don't get into gun battles like they do here in LA. We just saw one that happened in the Harlems, where the 2 cops walked in the liquor store and then before they know it, they're in a gun battle.
Hey, well, they need to snatch that department. And you know what I'm saying? And they need to be sheriffs. They need to just take over that department because they not equipped and they not ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm not convinced, and I'm not sure that having gun, whatever we're calling this, buffers for purchasing, is that going to reduce a mass shooting? If a dude's going to do a mass shooting, he won't figure out how to do it. I don't think a cooling period is going to stop a mass shooter.
No, it's not going to stop a mass shooting.
No,
but
mass shooter's determined.
It stop a man that just got cheated on or a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. But if a man got cheated on and he catches his wife in the act, he's got the laws on his side.
He go to Walmart and then he go down the street, get a pistol, and come back.
No, that's more premeditated. If he goes downstairs in the kitchen, pulls out the gun or the knife.
That's what I'm saying. He still got that easy access. Like, what? You just get it over the counter like a bottle of alcohol?
Now, if he went and bought a gun and had to wait 3 days and then killed the dude or his wife, I don't think the law will be on his side. They'll say that you had time to cool off.
She been made up to him. They been had sex and baby, I didn't mean it. That's my cousin. They would have that's what I'm saying. You need them days, even if it is 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you need them, bro.
Well, I believe that it might help out in certain situations, but for an advocacy group to say, look at all the mass shootings that happened in Texas and then blame the the lack of waiting to buy a gun as the reason, I'm not sure the two are linked.
Yeah, I ain't gonna just, that's why I'm not sticking with the mass shooting. Because if you doing the mass shooting, you probably already got all this already.
Yeah, you probably already got your stuff.
You stacked up.
Yeah, you got artillery, you got magazines, you got multiple weapons.
Right.
You got you got the rifles, and you got your hand pistols. So you're already you're ready for battle. But yeah, man, I was just surprised that there's no waiting period in most of America. You know what? I was just tripping because I always hear these anti-gun advocacy groups complaining, and I'm always saying we live in California. I'm like, why are they complaining? We got to wait 10 days here. But I never realized that all these states where there is no wait. So
hey, you know what? They don't know how easy it is to get a gun though. It don't even matter about going to buy one.
Yeah, you can get one off the streets.
Right. That's easy.
I think we talked about that once, and you told me no, the prices went up.
You could get a gun easier than you can get a job.
But you can't get a gun for $100 though, right? That's that type of access out the window now.
Nah, a smoker probably. No. If I had like a high point or something, I'll get that away for like $7,500.
Yeah,
a high point. That's go jam before you bust. But I'm standing on that a 10-day cool whatever you want to call it. Period in California, it ain't nothing wrong with it. I think it's needed. You could wait.
Well,
unless you got a job you're trying to start, you doing security, you gotta like I need this firearm to do this job. Like
you still gotta wait here.
And I think they should expedite it then if it's for a job purpose.
But I thought the main reason for the 10-day period was to do a background check on the individual. But as we just read, it's like cooling off is also a reason for the background check. I mean, for the waiting, for suicidal people, for murder, for people who got murderous thoughts. But I thought it was just checking your background. But I guess it don't really take long to check somebody's criminal background. You got all these guys on YouTube pulling people's criminal background checks up in an instant.
That's why I'm sticking on the cool off period, because I could think of 2 incidents where I had physical altercations with friends of mine, and if I would have had something around, and then it would have went bad. But days or even just that day to cool off. You know what I'm saying? So you be needing that time period to cool off. Imagine if Eric Carter would have went and got in a car with his chili cheese fries and Nipsey would have drove off, and then Eric Carter would have came back to the parking lot and Nipsey was gone. I don't know if Eric Carter would have been feeling the same way 2 or 3 days later. He probably would have cooled down.
Yeah, he couldn't cool down in that car while he was eating them chili cheese fries. He was just probably thinking to himself, I can't believe what this dude said. I can't believe it. And he said it in front of other dudes. Mm-hmm. Oh, man, I'm so hot right now.
All right.
Man, yeah. He needed at least...
he needed like 2 days.
A day, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's some people that I know that...
hold on to grudges.
Man, they'll see you 6 months later and they ain't cooled off an inch. And they ready to push a line.
Right. Right. No. I know them people too.
Yeah.
I'm one unless I love you.
Hey man, I know guys out here literally beefing over some minor stuff that happened 20 years ago. And they still won't get over it. So yeah, there ain't no cooling off period for some folks. And you just said some of them dudes too.
Yeah, but see,
it's a grudge. When you got a grudge, cooling off ain't gonna help you.
Now my mama tell me I need to learn how to forgive people, because my forgive button is broke.
Oh man, yeah, you definitely got to forgive. That's straight out the Bible.
Right.
And I think this forgiveness stuff, I talked about it with Spider. It might have been with both of y'all, where I know you guys are anti-snitch and anti-telling, but they deserve forgiveness too. We forgiving murderers. We're forgiving thieves, robbers. Hey, we got to forgive the snitch too. But the only condition is the snitch got to embrace what he did. If he's in denial and he's lying, then okay, we ain't got to forgive him. But if a dude comes forward and says, I did it, my bad, I know you guys don't like what I did, I'm sorry, you got to forgive that dude at some point.
I don't know if you telling you take somebody's life. I'm saying like you get somebody's life, that's unforgivable. You know what I mean? That's the same as killing a person. He ain't never coming home.
I guess it's
like you told on a bank robbery or a robbery or a gun case, or you told that my girlfriend took certain stuff forgivable. You got felony snitching, then you got snitching. You know what I'm saying? You can't get nobody life and all that and forgive them. Like,
well, we forgiving murderers, man. We all know people who have been to prison for murder, came home, and we shake their hand and hang out with them. So that's the ultimate offense. Well, I actually think sexual assault on a minor. What do you rank as worse, sexual assault on a minor or a homicide?
A sexual assault on a minor, bro, because you done messed them up for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
They gonna have triggers, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I go back and forth on that. I often hear murder as the ultimate offense, but it's like, what about the children, though?
Yeah, I go with essay on children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if they can be forgiven, though.
What,
sexual assault on a child.
a person that commit that act,
Yeah.
they shouldn't be forgiven. And the people that go to jail for these sex crimes, they always get out and able to do it again because they look at a sex crime like an illness. So they think it could be corrected and it can't. Versus somebody that made a mistake when he was 18 and shot somebody and they want to wash him up forever and punish him for the rest of his life.
Man,
I think it should be the other way around.
Yeah, I wonder how forgiveness goes for sexual assaults when you're embracing Christianity to its fullest, because it says everything's forgivable except God forgives everything except for sinning against the Holy Spirit. Basically, if you blaspheme God, the Bible says that's unforgivable, but everything else is forgivable. So that includes sexual assaults.
I'm a Christian by default, how I was raised, but I really don't have a religion. I just believe in a higher power, and that's it. So I don't know nothing about that. That shit unforgivable. You take a young lady or a young man, they little stuff and ruin them forever.
Yeah.
Now they flicking their wrists and shaking, switching when they walk and shit, because you ruined them. You know what I'm saying?
You definitely traumatize someone for their entire life, basically. I don't even know
or confuse them.
Can counseling and therapy fix some of that? I don't think it repairs all that damage.
Nah, I don't know. I can't call it. You got to ask somebody that been through that. Hey man, look, bro. I think the people that go to jail for them type of crimes, they need to sit for a very, very long time versus these people that shoot at somebody and completely miss them and get 25 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Or if someone you can get 25 years for an attempted murder.
They giving life, they striking people out for burglaries, bro.
Well, it could be a third strike here in California.
Yeah, that's big. Like, come on, bro. Like, going to somebody's house when they not even near and ain't nobody in danger. Nobody's home.
If no one's home. I do think that going into somebody's house, I rank that pretty high. When I was young, I never thought about it. But, when you become a homeowner, you're constantly thinking about, I'd swear if somebody come up in this mother.
Yeah, but home invasion carry life in California. You know what I'm saying? But burglary, not so much, but it's a strikable offense. I don't think nobody should be getting all them years for no burglary, going to somebody's home and they ain't there.
But you could literally get chipped going into the wrong house.
Yeah.
So it's a dangerous situation. I rank that pretty high.
What's that movie with the little boy with OG Bobby Johnson? His son was stealing radios and he got shot.
Oh, that's South Central, right?
Hey, Ray. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to ask you if you ever saw my interview I did with a PDL dude named Uno Mash, where we were talking about forgivable sins, because he is an admitted devil worshiper.
Yeah, I checked it out.
And I remember him saying that I don't know if God's ever going to forgive me because I did the ultimate sin. I sinned against God. I praised the devil.
My name's Big Icky, aka Uno Mash. We in Pasadena, California, and right now we in the projects, King Manors. This is home to the Pasadena Devil Lions, but the known clique right here is the Project Gangsta Bloods, PJG. Every day you got to deal with the choices. It's a regret. It's like a pile of regrets that stay on the gangster head. And if you're a gangbanger without regrets, you probably never even did shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be lying, then they go home and live these fake lies on the internet where everybody think it's all positive and shit. But I know the real, man, and I know how deep the gangbanging shit go, because I done did it forever for my whole life. I ain't new to this shit. Niggas know me. I'm well known out here. The big homie Bogart, you know what I'm saying? Salute, that's another G homie that's 100. Big homie Bogart was doing an interview back in the days on Raymond and Howard with the news people. And they was, you know, questioning him about the lanes and all that. And the nigga wind up making like a accidental typo, said some devil lane type shit, like not knowing it was Denver the whole time. So once it started spreading, the news and the propaganda behind it associated with it, the homies, I adapted the identity. Thought it was kind of so business. The devil lanes was hard. Yeah, we feeling that whole title. We feeling that swag. But then you had the homies in the biddy that was like, you know, it's Denver, man. What's the devil lane shit? We was on some satanic worship shit. And I was actually doing that for, man, about maybe 7-8 years. I was heavy into the satanic worship. My mom and my family thought I was crazy and shit, you know. I'm talking to the preachers left and right, asking is heaven open for niggas like me? And they can't even give me an answer, you know what I'm saying? And if a nigga tell me the easiest way to fame is to commit myself to Satan, at that point in my life, that's what I did, you know what I'm saying? That's what I did. And I don't have no regrets on doing that, because it made me who I am. The first thing Satan wants you to do is denounce the Holy Ghost, which is considered the #1 sin in the Bible, the #1 unforgivable sin in the Bible. If any nigga study the Bible knows that, you know, and that's fucked up to hearing that for a nigga like me. I did all of that over and over, numerous times, blasphemy against the Holy Ghost. So I always be thinking sometimes, like, low key, if there is a heaven or a hell, I'm already on my way down, you know.
But then I was reading some information where they were saying that what Uno Mas did is forgivable. So it's a little, I'm not clear on that, you know, but
you know, they had the devil lane thing going.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was on they satanic type time, you know what I'm saying? Certain lanes.
I thought that was a typo when I was young.
No.
The devil lanes.
I was pushing devils.
Yeah. Were the LA ones ever pushing devil? That's just a Pasadena thing.
Pasadena?
Yeah. So I don't know if devil worshippers could be forgiven, because that is diabolical to be a devil.
I know some devil worshippers, and then, you know, my lady friend asked, like, how could you be friends and be cool with people that worship the devil? And I'm like, shit, that's their belief. Mine's is mine, theirs is theirs. That I mean, it ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying?
When you think about it, though, if you're a gang member or you're on the streets and you pushing a line, you're pretty much doing everything that's evil.
Kill, steal, and destroy.
Yeah, you're doing evil stuff. So you're, without being a devil worshiper, you're serving the devil's interests.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, but I don't know, man. When it comes to the religion thing, I just, you know what I'm saying? You know, everybody got their own belief system or whatever.
All right, man. We talked about these street takeovers before. In fact, I believe it was an episode where we had ODM Slim here, and you guys had some interesting takes on the culture of street takeovers.
Right.
But we recently had a street takeover in Rosemead, right here in LA County, that went bad after a shooting erupted. I got an article here I want to read first. The title is "Video Shows Chaos Before 4 Were Injured in Shooting at Rosemead Street Takeover." 4 people were injured after gunfire erupted during a street takeover in Rosemead. The shooting happened around 2 a.m. near Del Mar and Garvey Avenues, according to the sheriff's department. 1 victim was taken to the hospital, and 3 people who were shot drove themselves to the hospital. Officials say they are all in stable condition. The victims include 3 men between the ages of 19 and 22, including a 17-year-old. A new video shows the chaotic moment the gunfire broke out at the crowded street takeover. Shots can be heard ringing out as cars drift through the intersection. Meanwhile, the person who opened fire remains outstanding. Detectives are trying to identify who was involved, and that's insane, man. 19, 22, 17-year-old kids. These are the ages of my kids, man. I hope they don't go to these street takeovers ever.
I ain't never heard of street takeovers being out there, but I mean, I ain't from out there, I guess. But yeah, I always hearing about them out here.
Oh yeah, I think they started out here, man. Actually, Whittier back in the days used to have, I wouldn't say call them, they're calling them street takeovers, but we used to call it like cruising before it got to doing donuts and acting all crazy and ghost riding the whip and all that other stuff. You know, that's the more modern version of cruising.
Yeah, it's a thing called Crenshaw Takeover. So I guess now they call it everything takeover. You know what I'm saying? People on Crenshaw just, you know what I'm saying?
See, Crenshaw just used to be
cruising.
Yeah, it was cool.
Like on Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, exactly. And then you pull over to the side if you want, or you keep going
Everybody
up and down.
walking up and down the street, hollering at females. You feel me? No, I know what you're talking about.
But when did this the takeover part of this, whatever we're calling this car culture thing?
The name Takeover, I can't tell you when that came about, but just being outside doing what this dude, then we going from spot to spot, we migrating from right here down Crenshaw, moving it down a little bit more, then we might be on Compton and Main and on Broadway, then, you know what I'm saying? But nowadays, they on Alameda and Greenleaf, like, they be a little bit of everywhere, but yeah, the name Takeover, I don't know when it became that, though.
That might have been that terminology might have been inserted by the police. I'm thinking that, because I don't know if the people would just say, "Hey, we're doing a street takeover."
No. I think they call it just Takeover now, but it started off like people calling it Crenshaw Takeover or something. All them little car clubs and all that little shit.
All right, I got a clip of some of the chaos during this street takeover. Can we play clip number 1, please?
Other news tonight, 4 people hospitalized after a street takeover in Rosemead ended in gunfire. It happened at Delmar and Garvey early this morning. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf live there tonight with the latest on the investigation for us. Matthew?
Yeah, Susan, a very intense morning here in Rosemead, that street takeover and gunshots. Take a look at this intersection where it all happened, all that burned rubber, a lot of this caught on camera. The latest street takeover in LA County ending with gunfire. Hundreds sprinting for cover at 2 a.m. Sunday morning in Rosemead as bullets ripped through the darkness. 4 people shot, all expected to survive.
It's disturbing, it's loud, and then now they're shooting. It's ridiculous.
A neighbor near Delmar and Garvey, too afraid to show her face on camera, says the noise and gunfire woke up her family. What do you think about having this happen so close to home?
I'm moving.
Really?
Definitely.
I just saw the police car block.
Nearby workers stunned as authorities checked businesses for surveillance video and clues. This happened in Rosemead, about 10 miles from downtown LA, where another street takeover recently also turned violent. Last month, crowds smashed windows and stormed into a luxury apartment building. Steps from Crypto.com arena, one person stabbed.
And if you start mayhem, you will be arrested. We have zero tolerance for breaking windows and running amok.
LA Mayor Karen Bass condemning that incident downtown, calling for increased patrols and enforcement. Go. And now this latest takeover outside city limits, but still sparking outrage. LA mayoral candidate Spencer Pratt tweeting if he's elected, every person in this video will be in an orange jumpsuit, filling potholes, picking up trash, and polishing LA sidewalks. How do we get these to slow down or stop?
It's just getting the community callers out before it starts building up to a larger crowd where we can't really control it with a few deputies.
Investigators now using this as evidence as fear among neighbors continues to grow.
This is very scary.
Okay, that's good.
That's why I'm moving. I'm not staying here.
I don't think they can do anything about it because it's just people are too deep. That mayor
They already have some laws in place talking about they used to go take you to jail for being out there.
Yeah.
Remember that? We covered this.
You can, I think, was it just some loitering laws?
Something like that. Like you out there, you not even like busting donuts, doing a little disorderly.
Yeah. I do
just
recall
for being out there. That's when me, you, and ODM was covering this. But I think she overreacting with the moving thing.
I know she ain't moving. She ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, right.
Unless she's renting some rundown apartment. But yeah, you ain't going anywhere.
Right.
But I don't know if there's anything you could do about these takeovers because they happen so spontaneous. Sometimes they're in and then they're out. And then when the police do pull up, they pull up, 3-4 cars. There's 500 people out there. What are they going to do?
Cars go every which way getting on. And,
yeah, you're going to arrest like 5 guys out of a couple hundred. And no, that's not going to do anything. I think the culture just got to become more responsible. And they have to police themselves. They got to say, look, we're going to have fun out here. No violence, no shooting. But, people come high, faded, grudges, and it's going to go up sometimes. I don't think anybody's ever been killed on Crenshaw in the last like 15, 20 years during the car situation.
Yeah.
In the last 20 years, there's been a couple shootings on Crenshaw.
Yeah. Out there with the car situation. Yeah.
Okay, I know over they got Crenshaw is cool because they have the streets. They have the side streets.
Mm-hmm.
It's so wide you can be parked on the side and you still have the traffic going down the middle of Crenshaw. So, but I stopped going out there years ago, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no, it's a culture though. It's crazy. People from different states come out here and face be lit up at the sight of that. I'm like, man, it's just like stuff we used to.
Yeah, because we can do it all year long because we got the weather for it. And we got the space. Our city is very sprawled out. We got these beautiful big streets, wide streets. I know you can't do nothing like this in Puerto Rico. The streets of Puerto Rico are narrow. You can't even get a SUV through some of these streets.
I bet you can't do it in New York either.
You can't do it in New York because there's so many parked cars everywhere. And there's one street in the Bronx you can do it on called the Grand Concourse. But
so in so many words, you can't do it in New York because you said only one street.
That's the only street I know that's big like Crenshaw. The Grand Concourse. It's got the same style. It's got the side streets on each side, and then it's got the main street down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, they used to block the side streets on each side of the street and let you play. The kids can play on those side streets because they were blocked. They would only do it on Sundays. The city would block those streets off, and then we'd just be in the street playing. Grand Concourse is huge. In fact, Bad Bunny, when he did, I don't know if you remember, about 5 years ago, Bad Bunny did a concert off of a moving van where he was standing on the top of the van while it was going all through New York City. And he went down the Grand Concourse and went down one of my old buildings. I could see it. And I was like, oh, that's I never seen a concert done like that.
Bad Bunny making a whole lot of history.
You ever seen that? Where you're on the roof of a van and you're performing while you're slow cruising through the city. It was amazing.
Well, we got some up and coming rappers that used to pull up to the high schools, and when you come out, they out on top of their car performing. Blueface is one of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that would be dope for someone to go down Crenshaw.
No, that traffic moving too fast.
Well, you have to. I'm sure you got to get permits. But Bad Bunny had escorts. The police were out there. It was at least 10 cars, in part of the caravan.
And you got to be a Bad Bunny for that to happen, bro. Like, they not gonna let none of our LA rappers do that.
Well, 5 years ago, Bad Bunny wasn't the Bad Bunny he is now.
But Bad Bunny is not look what kind of artist he is.
Yeah.
Like in California, I'm talking about. What?
Ice Cube can do it. Ice Cube can do it. And it was a free concert. It was done during COVID. It was like during the first year of COVID. So it was, but yeah, we could do low ride in the Grand Concourse, but the problem is in the wintertime, it's all snowing. Ain't nobody driving around like that.
That's funny. Ice Cube, yeah, I guess Ice Cube could.
And Snoop Dogg can do it. Them two can pull it off.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg, ain't nobody worried about him being a Crip.
But I don't think them two dudes is interested in giving a free concert. And then they got to pay for the permits. It actually costs you, the artist, more money to pull that off because you got to pay for all this police escort.
Snoop might do it in Long Beach. He might do it.
Yeah, Ice Cube ain't doing nothing like that though.
Hell no, he ain't.
He's very stingy.
He ain't messing around.
Yeah. But no, I don't know if other cities do it like we do it, Munch. I don't know if they do it like this in Houston. I know in Philly, they be popping wheelies on those four-wheelers all up in the streets. You ever seen that?
Yeah, when Meek Mill first came out, I used to see him do it all the time.
Yeah, that was a big deal in Philly. I ain't really seen anybody in L.A. doing that.
No. I was, on the Rough Riders on the East Coast, DMX and all them, they used to be busting wheelies and all that. It was all on bikes.
But they ain't never gonna get rid of what they're calling street takeovers. That's a part of Los Angeles culture, Southern California. It's even a part of San Diego. They got a nice little lowrider culture down there in San Diego.
Well, up north in the Bay, they call it a sideshow. They do the same thing. They just call it a sideshow. In the Bay Area, that's where that ghost riding the rip.
Yeah.
Ghost ride through it. They outside the car, like wheeling it, and all that. Like that came from up north with the Ghost Ride the Whip thing. So they got their little culture also, just named different.
See, that's why I wouldn't want to go to any of these because my fear is more you're going to lose control of this car. It's going to end up in the crowd and somebody's going to get killed that way. I seen too many. I saw someone doing donuts and he lost control and hit like 3, 4, 5 people. It was like pop, 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 bodies bouncing off the car. I'm like,
yeah, it ain't nothing I ain't seen out there, man. I used to be out there religiously, bro. I'm telling you, that's all I know. All that, like we used to be on Compton and Main on Broadway, like by all the motorcycle clubs where the warehouse is at, up and down Broadway, down Crenshaw. And now they making their way towards Alameda these days. You know, where all them trucks be going up and down Alameda, but it's yeah, man, we going up.
Were they calling it takeovers back then?
No, they wasn't calling it takeovers. It was just like we about to hit the Shaw, even though we won't exactly be on the Shaw.
Yeah.
It's probably start there, then we migrate other places, you know what I'm saying?
I wonder if this term is actually media derived or police law enforcement derived, calling this takeovers.
Nah, I think it sprung up one year and they start calling it Crenshaw takeover. Now they just calling everything takeovers when the car's out there.
Well, I wonder where it came, because I remember this term in the 90s, tag banging. Tag banging was created by, that term was created by Fox 11 News, because these dudes were taggers, but they weren't really into graffiti writing. They was kind of banging, but they weren't really in a gang. And they came up with this term tag banging, and it stuck.
I think somebody will debate you on that.
I believe Fox 11 News came up with that term tag bangers.
Yeah, I think these tag bangers will debate you.
Do you think tag banging is still a thing now, though?
Yeah, it is a thing, because they gonna be threat says in a couple years eventually.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that's what I'm saying. I think about how that name derived. Somebody will debate you on that.
And back in the 90s, there were more blacks in crews. You don't really see too many blacks in these little crews anymore.
Yeah.
There were a lot of crews in the
dance crews, party crews, tag crews.
Yeah, like over that where the Dark Side 40s is at, there was all crews back in the 90s.
We don't care.
We don't care. Dirty Old Man Gang, DOMG.
Yeah, and then you got the send nothing but trouble before there was Gangsta Crip, there was taggers.
But now it's more of a Latino thing when it comes to the tag banging. But yeah, if you guys know where that term tag banging was derived, it definitely came out in the 90s. I just recall Fox News would just be constantly running it. I'm like,
I think the essays coined that for the taggers, knowing eventually they go be homies one day. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they tag bangers. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
That's what I believe.
We'll find out.
That's my educated guess.
We'll get some history on that. Now, there's this Dominican gang in New York City named the Trinitarios, the Trinitarios, to say it right, the Trinitarios. They've been around since I was young, but they were based in Washington Heights, which is in Manhattan. The Dominicans got all of that sewed up, Washington Heights, and that's where the Trinitarios was at. But some Trinitarios just got charged in a whole new indictment, man, in New York. Let me read this clip from the Justice Department's website. And it says here, 40 members and associates of the Bronx Trinitario street gang charged. U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara, NYPD Commissioner Kelly, DEA agent in charge Brian Crowell, ATF Special Agent in charge Joseph Anuramu, and ICE Homeland Security Investigations Deputy Special Agent in charge announced the unsealing of a superseding indictment against 40 members of the Bronx Trinitarios gang. Now, this is really the alphabet of all alphabet organizations that's on this gang's head. With racketeering, murder, attempted murder, narcotics, firearms. It's the same old shit, Munchie. It's like they cut and paste these and they just change up the numbers.
Same template.
The original indictment filed in December of 2011 against 50 members of BTG alleged that the gang operated as a RICO and was responsible for certain narcotics and firing traffic offenses. Today's superseding indictment against 26 new defendants and 14 already charged adds additional racketeering offenses and violent crimes, including 9 murders in aid of racketeering, 10 conspiracies to commit murder in aid of racketeering, and 24 assaults and attempted murders in aid of racketeering. It also includes additional narcotics conspiracy and firearms offenses, all related to the defendants participating in BTG. In 2009 and 2010, 43 members of the Manhattan Trinitarios gang were charged with various racketeering. That would have been the ones in Washington Heights. Bringing the total number of defendants from the Trinitarios in the past 3 years to 119.
They deep.
Yeah. This has got to probably be a record. This might surpass some of LA's. LA's had huge indictments against the BPSs. They got 2 against the BPSs, 2 against the Avenues, and maybe 2 or 3 against the Florences. But this right here, this might surpass. They have 3 indictments against them: 2009, 2011, and then now in 2026. And guess what? The Trinitarios ain't going anywhere. They're going to be there 5 years from now. And now they're spreading. They're in other boroughs now. So this is the Bronx Trinitarios, which is something that
So they got different subsets.
Yeah, this is a subset that formed after I left New York. But I remember the Washington Heights Trinitarios from back in the day. And yeah, they're well known. So there's a new gang indictment. And what's crazy is this sounded really bad when I read it, right? 9 murders and all this conspiracy for attempted murders. But I would say half of these guys are going to be home in 5 years. Or less than.
You know, everything sound bad in the beginning.
Yeah.
Then it start thinning out. You know what I'm saying?
And I do think we have a clip on this recent superseding indictment on the Trinitarios. Can we play clip number 2, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Perryon, and I am the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York. Today, we unseal a superseding indictment that chronicles a level of gang violence not seen in this district for some time. The indictment describes a highly organized criminal machine that ruthlessly guarded its turf, blithely murdered its rivals, and brutally punished even its own members for any transgression of arbitrary gang rules. As alleged, that criminal machine, the Trinitarios gang based in the Bronx, went to war against competing gangs and turned portions of New York City into a virtual shooting gallery. The catalog of crimes alleged in the indictment today is stunning. 9 murders, 24 attempted murders, racketeering, robbery, assault, firearms offenses, trafficking in cocaine, crack cocaine, powder cocaine, both, illegal prescription drugs, and marijuana. You name it, and they did it. Now, today's indictment is actually the second in connection with the Bronx Trinitarios. The first indictment, unsealed almost exactly a year ago, charged 50 members and associates of the Bronx Trinitarios with racketeering, narcotics, and firearms offenses. More than half of those defendants have already pled guilty. But our work was not done, and so that is what brings us to this point today. The new indictment that we are all here to talk about today charges 14 of the original defendants with more serious crimes and 26 new defendants. So 40 in total are charged today, and if you count both cases together, we have charged with our law enforcement partners now 76 members and associates of the Trinitarios gang, and then if you add in what we have done with respect to the Manhattan Trinitarios gang, with 43 charges there, the total with respect to this gang is 119.
All right, that's
so
good.
Early this morning, more than 200 agents and all.
You hear how happy he sound?
Yeah, I mean, they always sound like that.
Right.
They love doing these press conferences, but I always consider these press conferences more theatrics and performance.
A lot of fluff.
Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes I used to go to them when they were here in LA. Every time they had one, I would go there and record them. If you look at some of my early content, it's these press conferences, and I used to just be amazed. Like, this is fun. And then every once in a while, I interview some of the cops. They'll let me interview them. And so this is 119 total guys from the Trinitarios that have been charged. I don't know if that's a record for a gang, but I do know that it's I might be mistaken, but maybe the Florences, They had 2 indictments. I know one of their indictments had like 80 people, and the other one might have surpassed 119, but that's getting crazy, huh?
Man, I was in the county jail one year, and they indicted the 40s, and them dudes came to jail deep.
Yeah, that was I remember that indictment. I think that was like 09 or 08 or something like that. 010.
09.
Yeah.
And it's funny because my boy Woofy, man, shout out Woofy from Sixers Brim, he got caught up in an indictment. So he going to court chained up to the 40s, and I'm like, this shit is funny, everything. But yeah, sold to the wrong person. But yeah, I remember the 40s came to jail deep.
I actually went to the press conference for that one. So for all you guys want to see some press conference gang indictment footage, I'll put a link to the Rollin 40s getting indicted. I can't remember where we were at when we did that press conference. But yeah, I remember it was under Chief Bratton, I believe. I believe Chief Bratton was the LAPD chief back then. And yeah, I wouldn't miss one of these. And
I don't know the number, but they came to jail kind of deep.
Yeah, theirs was it was a pretty good number. It wasn't 100 though.
But then the Brims had one that was kind of big.
Which Brims?
Both. It was some VNs, Fruit Towns, and 6 doses all mixed in. This was a couple years ago.
Okay, I don't remember.
Not a couple years ago. I'm going to say 16, 17. Like probably 17, 18, 2017, 18.
Yeah, I don't remember how many in that one. I do remember the Pueblos had one maybe about 10 years ago.
I recall that one.
Trying to remember. I went to the press conference for the Pueblo one. Yeah. And I remember during that time, check this out, one of the FBI agents had ordered an All Hood magazine, which was by Kev Mack, that had the history of the Pueblos in the magazine. He ordered it from me because I had them. I used to distribute. I still distribute the All Hood magazines on the streetgangs.com. And hey, he ordered it. I had to send it to him.
Hey, where the one with on one side it was 211, on the other side it was Nipsey.
That one sold out. We can't get that one anymore. That one sold out.
That one, it got a history of Inglewood family, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But what do you think about that? FBI ordering the All Hood magazine.
What you mean? What I think about it?
I think they. I mean, it's no big deal to me, but I think it's funny.
I mean, ordering it, let's go order it or just demand it anyway, right?
No, I mean, you can't demand a magazine from me. You can't. The police can't just go up in the store and say, "Give me this book" or "Give me this magazine." You know, you got to pay for it.
Well, I wouldn't have sold them shit.
Well, it came in on online order, so what am I going to do?
So how you know it was from the FBI?
He ended up telling me
after.
Yeah, when I was at the press conference, he told me. I don't remember if it happened right after, but I just remember them ordering a copy of that All Hood magazine.
Yeah, me knowing that y'all ain't getting shit. We out of stock.
You out of stock?
Yeah, y'all ain't. No, we ain't got none.
Nah, you don't really know who you're selling to. It doesn't. The order don't come in FBI. You know.
Right. That's like somebody trying to order the Monster Cody book. They don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of police officers and a lot of prisons got the Monster Cody book and read it cover to cover.
I think all the gang cops done read it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All the crash unit, they didn't read the Monster Cody book that really police these black neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes they like to use it for evidence. You know, I didn't think the All Hood magazine is just based on history. So it's talking about 20 years ago, 30 years ago, how things were formed.
Well, if the FBI needed that magazine, they need better gang experts.
Yeah.
So if you're going off the magazine to help you with your testimony, y'all doing a poor job, bro.
But I notice if you read some of these indictments, when they'll say that such and such from the Rollins, whatever, is in this gang, and then they try to give you, the first page will try to give you a little history. This gang started in the 19s, whatever, and it started off as a small gang on XYZ Street. And I'm like, okay, y'all, where y'all getting this history from? Y'all reading the books, you doing the research, you reading the autobiographies, and you're putting it into the intro page of an indictment. You know, like if there was an indictment of the Inglewood families, I guarantee you, whoever is writing it from the federal government will say this gang started off as the Chain Gang back in the late 60s, and then they changed the name to IFG, and then they start going into the criminal shit.
Right. Right. They used to do that with, you know, when they trying to do the gang gang allegation thing, and they'll bring up another member of your gang to lay the grounds of this what y'all do and give an example. Because I like it used to be like homies going to their preliminary, and then the gang expert would be up there like, oh yeah, Munchie B or Scary Banks, on this day he was caught with a firearm on so and so and so and so. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this, like, it's the later, the what you want to call it? Foundation to let the courts know this what Inglewood families are. They carry guns, and then they get up there and, you know, yeah, they rob people, they kill people, they rape, they them. Like, I was sitting in the car like, I don't R word nobody. You know what you talk about, sir? You just up there ad-libbing now. But
no, what they do is they'll take, if one guy from IFG got a rape, then they'll say the IFGs are known to commit rapes.
Right.
You know, and this is what we was talking about when Ricky was here.
Right.
I was like, they like to take an action of an individual or the actions of a small group of people and then paint the entire gang that way. So the rape thing, I wish we could have brought that up when Ricky was here, because he's down with that.
Right.
He's like, hey, it's an entity, it's an organization, that's what it is. But like you said, if Joe raped somebody, that don't mean the Inglewood families are rapists.
Right.
And that's what they do in these indictments, and just in general.
All right.
It could be state, and they do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I always like to ask the question when the cop is on the stand, when was the last time someone from XYZ gang was convicted of a murder? Because they'll say that the primary activity of this gang is murder. Now, Dan, that's a pretty bold statement, right? The primary activity. That means that our number one thing we do before anything else is murder. The primary activity is murder. So there must be a lot of murders. So, officer, when was the last time an individual from this gang was convicted of murder? Back in 2019. Okay, so it's been 6 years. So is that a primary activity? If you got a gang of 100 guys, but the last conviction is 2019. So we try to push back on the language that they use in front of the jury. You know, this is in front of a jury.
Right.
So we try to challenge them on some of this language.
Yeah, they verbiage be effed up.
Oh, man. But of course, juries eat it up. Just imagine how many people are eating up Cashless Jones's narratives at this point.
I'm thinking it's starting to thin out.
It is starting to thin out.
Because his narratives that he be spinning is getting like way outlandish.
Okay, let's say like 3 years ago, people listening to him,
right,
they might have embraced it. They might have believed him.
Right.
They might have thought he had credibility.
Right.
And that's how I feel about jurors when they're listening to the police, because the police have credibility. They're supposed to be people we trust. But in that courtroom, sometimes they be in there fibbing. You know, I'm hearing it. I'm sitting right in front of it, listening to it. So it's kind of like the same. I use that as an analogy.
I'm almost positive, bro. I could talk that talk as far as this Damo history from our beginnings to the present time, and talk actual factual and talk key players, and they'll all go over Wackhead. He don't be knowing nothing about what he's talking about.
Oh, no, he don't.
He name drop people he don't know, never met in person. Like, all, you know what I'm saying? But, you know.
No, he don't. But it made me just think about, there was some content maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago about the 60s being booty bandits in the county jail.
And they going by something that happened in the Crip module years ago.
Yeah, by either one person or just a couple of people.
Mm-hmm.
But I know some 60s was a little upset about it. Like, you putting the booty bandit label on an entire gang.
A deep gang.
Yeah.
With thousands of members.
So if you got 1,000-member gang and you got 2 booty bandits, are the Rollin 60s booty bandits? Absolutely not. But that's the language that's being used even by law enforcement.
Right.
And we're starting to see some idiot content creators kind of go that route too. I get it why people are putting that sounds very policey. Like you, I like your nickname for Jala.
Oh yeah, Poetic Federal.
Yeah, Poetic Federal. Because he's using the federal language, the police language, the way they like to, you know, they're very clever in how they write up these indictments.
Yeah, his wording is real. Yeah, that. Yep.
All right, man. ICE is at it again, busting on people. But I understand why they busted on this guy, because he didn't want to stop his car. He got boxed in, and he tried to drive out of being boxed in, and of course they immediately considered his car a weapon. and they aired his ass out. And but when you look at the footage, it looked like he was just trying to get away. It really looked like he was trying to get away. He wasn't trying to kill no ICE agent. But this Latino guy up north, he got boxed in, and they ended up shooting the dude. Let me read the article real quick, and then I got a couple of clips on this situation because they're alleging that he's from 18th Street in another country. It says here, members of the FBI evidence response team on the scene after the shooting. Okay, so a criminal complaint was filed on Tuesday by the U.S. Attorney's Office against a guy named Carlos Mendoza Hernandez of attempting to use his vehicle to hurt the immigration agents who pulled him over last week when he was on his way to work. According to the complaint, 3 ICE agents and an employee of Customs and Border Protection sought out to arrest Mendoza Hernandez for immigration violations. After they pulled him over, Mendoza Hernandez refused multiple commands to step out of his car, leading the agents to break the front passenger window of his car to extract him from the vehicle. According to the complaint, Mendoza reacted by placing his car in drive, moving it forward, and then to the left approximately 1 foot, hitting one of the agents. That agent then discharged their firearm. Mendoza Hernandez then reverses and abruptly forced the vehicle in a rapid backward motion in what agents understood to be an attempt to flee. Okay. I never saw some of this is on body cam, on dash cam, and the part that they released, I didn't see him hit anyone, but maybe they didn't release it all.
Why they so obsessive with trying to take him in? Why is they busting his windshield from the gate?
They believed he was wanted for murder in Central America.
Okay, they believe that, or that's fact?
They believed it, and we're going to play a clip and clear that up in a second. But after that, 2 agents discharged their weapons. The complaint does not say how many shots were fired. Mendoza Hernandez was wounded more than a half a dozen times, including visible wound to his face, according to his lawyer, Patrick Kolasinski. The FBI arrested Mendoza Hernandez shortly after he was discharged from the hospital, where he had undergone at least 3 surgeries to patch up his wounds. Okay, so let's go to clip. I got 4 clips. We're gonna go with clip 3A on this real quick. Clip 3A is the dash cam that shows some of the dash cam and what happened. Go ahead.
I was in shock when I first heard this. No, not in Patterson.
The quiet Central Valley town of 25,000 people was the site of an ICE officer-involved shooting. It happened right at their central intersection by Interstate 5. ICE officers say they were conducting a targeted vehicle stop to make an arrest. Dash cam video obtained by KCRA in Sacramento shows a car said to have been driven by the suspect abruptly back up and then speed forward. That's when officers say they opened fire. Sky 7 shows bullet holes in the smaller black SUV parked here in Stanislaus County.
Deputies from the sheriff's office immediately responded to the scene and assisted in securing the area by blocking the roadways. Fire and paramedic personnel also responded to provide medical assistance.
The injured man was transported to a nearby hospital following the shooting. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons says the suspect is a member of the 18th Street gang in El Salvador. That is where he is allegedly wanted for questioning for a murder. FBI Sacramento has taken over as the primary agency for this investigation.
FBI Sacramento, we are conducting a thorough, methodical investigation to understand what transpired prior to today's shooting.
Community members from across the Central Valley came to the scene to get their look at what is now a national story.
They're here for a reason, and I support them. Keep up the good work.
Joni Dixon Garcia is a rapid responder from Tracy. She came to make sure the smaller town had the support they needed while making sure there is a thorough investigation into what happened. After 3 recent shootings involving federal agents in Minnesota, she is unhappy with seeing lethal force used in a similar manner.
You know the risks, all the stuff, assume the risk. Stop being a scared little baby and shoot every time you're a little bit scared.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah. And if you notice in that story, they never said anything about an ICE agent being hit by a car. And it didn't, if they have that footage, they haven't released it. It just looks like he's boxed in, he backs up and then goes forward, and they just air him out. They air his ass out. and he loses control. His car goes across the divider into oncoming traffic. So, okay. So now I want to play the clip of the attorney. We're gonna skip 3B. We're gonna go to clip 3C and play his attorney who had visited him in the hospital after the shooting.
Oh, he lived?
Yeah, he survived it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in custody now.
So, for those of you because there's people who haven't seen me before, I'm Patrick Koloshinsky. I'm Carlos's attorney. We just had a visit with him here at the hospital, and I have a little bit of a report. He is doing as well as can be expected. They anticipate that he will be out of the ICU hopefully later today. He has had 3 significant surgeries to kind of get him patched up. He let us know that he suffered multiple gunshot wounds, but he is able to speak. He was able to meet with Cindy, and that he's on the road to recovery, which we're very, very, very grateful for. We've also set up the ability for both Cindy and I to visit him when we need to, and pretty much anytime we want to. His other visits are limited, but they're largely limited as much for his safety and his recovery as anything else.
All right, that's good.
The DOJ also confirmed.
So he has multiple surgeries. He was aired out severely, and he's lucky to be alive, Munch.
No weapon recovered, right?
No, nothing.
Okay, well, man, you know.
Now you asked the question about why were they doing this? Was he really wanted for murder? I got this third and final clip, man, that's going to blow you away. Because I don't think they had any justification to try to take him into custody unless this was about his immigration, unless this was about him being a citizen. So the third clip is his wife and the lawyer together talking about what actually happened in El Salvador. Play clip 3D.
The family of a man shot by federal ICE agents yesterday is speaking out, saying they want to know his status and why he's being detained. Welcome to The Four. I'm Christina Rendon.
Good afternoon. I'm Frank Malicote. The man's attorney disputes allegations from ICE that he is a gang member. KTVU's Jana Katsuyama joins us live in the newsroom with all the details. Jana?
Frank and Christina, just in this past half hour, I spoke with the attorney. An ICE official here in Northern California says that Carlos Hernandez is not in ICE custody at this moment. That official says the FBI is in charge of this case. The attorney says Hernandez was taken to a doctor's medical center in Modesto, and family members say they and their attorney have been barred from seeing him. Family members say 36-year-old Carlos Ivan Mendoza Hernandez of Patterson, California, was shot by ICE officers Tuesday, but they have not been able to speak with him or get any information about his status. Footage from nearby vehicles show the traffic stop near I-5 in Stanislaus County. Hernandez in the dark vehicle is seen backing up away from the officers and then swerving to the left, appearing to try and pull away as officers started shooting. In a statement, ICE Director Todd Lyons said, ICE officers were conducting a targeted vehicle stop in Patterson, California to arrest Carlos Ivan Mendoza Hernandez, an 18th Street gang member wanted in El Salvador for questioning in connection to a murder. As officers approached the car, the wanted gang member weaponized his vehicle in an attempt to run an officer over. Lyons said officers fired defensive shots for protection. The FBI was called to the scene.
I believe yesterday his reaction is coming from fear, right? Some people agree, some people disagree, but based on what I know, I do believe it's coming from that.
On Wednesday, Hernandez's fiancée, Cindy, a U.S. citizen and mother of their 2-year-old girl, says Hernandez was not a gang member. He had been worried about the increase in federal detentions.
He's a good dad. He's a hardworking person.
The family's attorney, Patrick Koloshinsky, says the ICE director's statement is not supported by court records.
This morning, we received a little bit of information from El Salvador that he had a criminal encounter in El Salvador where he had been accused of murder and he was acquitted.
The family's attorney shared court
All right,
records from
that's
El
good.
Salvador showing Hernandez was initially charged, but then...
So there you go, Munchie. It's a confusing situation because if he was acquitted of the murder, why didn't ICE know this? Or is there some other reason why they were on his bumper?
It sounded like they looked into that later and found out about the whole murder thing. They had no clue about him even being charged with a murder in the past. I think that came later. But man.
Oh, you think he was just being detained like they've been just doing everybody else?
Right.
Okay.
That's what I believe.
Well, I thought that shooting at a fleeing vehicle was against most police departments' policy. If the vehicle is shooting, I don't believe you can shoot at it according to most police departments. Or if you're just fleeing in general, you shouldn't be getting shot.
But that's why they use the words like he tried to weaponize his vehicle.
Yeah, and if you look at the footage, the lady described it exactly what it was. He moved forward, he went in reverse, and then he went to the left in a forward direction to get out of there. There was one agent standing to the left, but he was to the side of the car. He wasn't standing to the front of the car where the bumper's at. So I think that's a little bit exaggerated to say that he weaponized his vehicle against an ICE agent. They just didn't want him to get away.
Right.
And he would have got away. He would have definitely got away if he didn't get shot at. He had a clean path to go forward. And they just opened fire on the guy.
Man, I wish him a speedy recovery, man, and I don't know what they're going to do with him after that, though.
Well, if you notice, the FBI took him into custody. He's not even in ICE custody now. And they're probably going to try to charge him for something that he did there.
Assault on a peace officer. So him going towards the police officer and not even hitting him, that's still assault on a peace officer. Like you tried to assault him with your vehicle.
Yeah.
I know somebody with that charge, but that's some BS, though.
It's like the way they did one of the Twyman brothers back in a few years back over in the Athens, right? That was that in the APs where one of the Twymans,
Ryan Twyman.
He was back. He was reversing his car.
They opened up his door.
They opened up the door. So the door being open almost hit the officer when he reversed it. Yeah, they opened up the door, and that officer,
the man is startled. He don't know who opening up his back door.
Yeah. And what's crazy, they aired him out, but the passenger in that car survived. Yeah. I think they shot him like 30 times. And the reason why that deputy was charged was not because of the initial shooting. He went back to his vehicle, pulled out a rifle, and continued. He did an overkill.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Shit crazy. They got a license to kill, man.
I'm hoping that I'm going to predict that this lawyer right here is going to get everything dismissed on this guy. But if he's not a citizen, he's getting deported. And he's got a wife that's a citizen, and he's got a kid. He's going to work. He's a family man, and now he got dragged into this situation.
They said it was a targeted vehicle, so they knew who they was coming for.
Yeah, well, we don't know. We don't have the evidence. Yeah.
Right.
It could have been like you said. They just saw a Latin dude, a Hispanic guy. Let's hem him up.
Right.
Because that's what they were doing in Minneapolis, and that's what they were doing here in L.A.
Right.
Hemming up anybody. I'm just glad I ain't got hemmed up. They've been hemming up some Haitians, and I heard some stories where some Haitians were getting deported under this Trump shit.
Trump something else, man. Something else.
All right, man. So that'll do it on the story of Carlos. I'm definitely going to get a follow-up on Carlos. I'm hoping his lawyer is able to get these charges dismissed, being that he's not even in ICE custody now. The FBI took it over. Maybe the FBI took it over and be like, man, ICE, you guys are out of control.
Right. He might not be an immigrant, though, if he's in ICE custody.
I know. That's what I was thinking, but we'll see. And even if he's not an immigrant, he's got a wife that's a citizen. I mean, even if he is an immigrant, his wife is a citizen. He's got children born here. He can argue and fight it like the way Alex Sanchez did from MS. They've been wanting to deport Alex Sanchez from MS. Like they actually did deport him. He was deported like twice or three times. He always came back. And on his last deportation hearing, he won it. So now that they can't mess with him anymore.
That's what's happening.
And
that's what's up.
But he was able to do it because he had a family, he had a wife, he had multiple children born here in LA, and he hadn't been in trouble, in over a decade or more than that. And of course, you got to have a good lawyer, and you got to spend some money. It's a battle. And he was in custody. Remember, that's the one where I told you that Tom Hayden, the California senator, put up his house. Can you believe this? He put up his house and bailed him out when he was fighting a murder case here in L.A. He was fighting a federal murder case, and he got those charges dismissed after a year.
That's dope. He believed in them.
Oh yeah, we all did. As soon as I actually got the discovery on that case, and I listened to all the phone calls. He was indicted for murder based on phone calls, and I listened to the phone calls, and I was like, that's not enough. That's not the worst thing he said on the phone call in Spanish. If they want to go to war, we can go to war. And then, of course, that guy ended up getting murdered in El Salvador, not even in L.A., and then they indicted him.
It's crazy, man. The law, they make up their own rules, bro.
And Tom Hayden put up his house, bailed him out. And then after that, of course, he had to fight his deportation, and he won that. I'm not sure if the deportation was at the same time as that murder indictment. Man, but Alex Sanchez has been through the ringer with the police here in L.A.
No, he could write a book.
You know what? He should. He should, actually. I had him come to my class when I was teaching at Cal State Long Beach just to talk to my students. And I never even knew this, but he talked about being deported, the first time he got deported, to El Salvador, to a country that he hadn't seen since he was like 5 or 6 years old, and not knowing nothing, and being confused and not knowing what to do. And then he said, I had to make it myself. I had to find my way back to L.A. And he talked about the trek from El Salvador through Mexico back to L.A. And that was an incredible story. Hearing him tell that story to my students, I never heard him tell it. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Trying to make your way back to L.A. because that's a good, 2,000 miles, from El Salvador to L.A.
That's a cool little book. Somebody needs to get with him.
And then his ass got deported again. And he made it back to L.A. again. So, yeah, man. We wish the best for Carlos, and I'm going to try to reach out to the attorney. What you got going on with the music, man?
Yeah, man, I just dropped 5 on it. Munchie B and my boy Perryon J Key. Everybody go run that up for me. And, as usual, Morals Over Money TV. Like, hype, and subscribe.
And tap in with StreetTV if you want to listen to different clips of this episode or previous episodes. We're on all audio platforms, Spotify and Apple as the main ones. Appreciate you tapping in. We out.